Welcome, I'm Doraine, and the class we're going to do today is one I actually designed for myself when I was recovering from some low back issues. If you've had low back problems, this is at the point where you are making progress and you're feeling stronger, but you're not quite ready to go to something really difficult. You will need a blanket because we will be lying down, so a blanket under your head, a chair, preferably one with no arms, and a little bit of wall space. If you don't have wall space, then the best thing you can do is to close a door, make sure it's closed really securely, and use the back of the door. So we will begin here with pelvic tilt, so supine, lying down on your back, blanket under your head if you need one, knees bent, feet on the floor, and we'll just begin with this rocking forward and back of the pelvis. As you rock forward, the tailbone comes down, the low back slightly lifts. As you rock back, the tailbone lifts, the low back presses down into the floor. Hands can be wherever you want. If you put your fingertips on these bony hip point in the front, you can feel the movement occurring in a little bit of a different way. So just find this rhythm. Notice your breath. There's no real right or wrong with where you exhale and where you inhale. But you might try exhaling as you rock back and press the low back down into the floor. Just a few more here. Now bring your legs to the floor, nice and long, and if you're close to the wall, you probably do not want your feet on the wall right now. And lift one knee up so that it's at a right angle. Bring your arms out to the side, and then we're just going to twist. So you're just going to take this leg across your body over into a twist. Now, you may not go all the way to the floor. Think about where your shoulders are. Could you keep your shoulder blades on the floor and just let your pelvis move? And again, you're probably not going to go all the way to the floor. If it would feel good to rock in and out of it, that's a good thing to do as well. Then come back to center. Take that leg down and switch to the other side. So bring the other leg in. You've got that right ankle from your thigh to your shin. And then take that leg across your body and just notice. See if you can keep your shoulder blades on the floor. It might want to rock up like this. And if it does, then the goal is to find some twist, but to keep something stable. So our shoulders are being the stable part of our body, part of this pose. And again, if you like to rock back and forth, you can. But you're probably not going to go all the way to the floor. Come back center, put your feet on the floor. And we're going to come to an easy bridge. So you're welcome to keep the blanket. We're not going up into a high bridge. So just push into your feet, lift up, and back down. Very similar movement, to the pelvic tilt that we did to start with. And if you want to find that rock before you lift up, it might feel good. If you want to lift all at the same time so that you're not rocking, that's fine too. Not a right or wrong. We're just using the glutes, feeling the hip flexors open a little bit at the top. Think about pushing down into your feet. Imagine that you have a block in between your knees. If you have a block, you're welcome to add one here in between your thighs. Find your big toe mound as you press up and down. And just notice what you're feeling in your legs, what you're feeling in your glutes, your buttocks, and what you feel in the low back. Let's do about 3 more. And then come down, a little rock side to side. Feel that on your low back, how it feels against the floor. And then you can rock and roll up and over, or you can roll to one side and come up. We're coming to hands and knees. I'm going to use a blanket under my knees. If you like a little bit of extra padding, then please feel free to add that. And for this, I'm just going to turn sideways on my mat so that I can see you and you can see me. So we start from this kneeling position. Bring one leg forward. So you're in this 90-90 position. Right angle here, right angle here. Good. Now, I want you to feel your front foot on the floor. Push down, maybe even pull back just slightly. And you'll probably feel this leg light up. Now bring your attention to the one that's on the floor, the knee that's down. And press down slightly so that you feel this hip flexor open a little bit. And I want you to think about scissors. So front leg pulls slightly back, back leg pulls slightly forward. And you should feel your pelvis line up with the edge of the mat or the front of the mat so that you're not shifted sideways, but you're actually coming right forward. Now bring your arms up over your head. Find a nice stretch here. So think about pushing down into the floor and lifting up out of it. And then we're going to side bend. So bring the hand on the same side as the front leg down and then lean into that position. Don't go far. See if you can keep that scissoring action happening in your legs. And then come back up, both arms up. Bring your hands to your knee, find your balance, and then swap legs. So the other leg is forward. Make sure you're in this 90-90 position. Little bit of scissoring action. Back leg pulls forward, front leg pulls back. Reach that knee down, feel this opening, this stretch, and then add the arms, nice and tall. Keep your scissoring action happening in your legs. The same arm comes down as the front leg, and then lean sideways. Find your balance, look at something that's not moving, See if you can find your scissors again. And then lift your arms up and bring your hands down. And here I will shift again so that you can see the whole pose. We're coming to hands and knees. And we're coming to bird dog. So you're going to take one leg back, tuck your toes under, and the opposite arm is going to come forward and you're on your fingertips. So we haven't gone fully into this pose yet, but in this position you can find your balance. And then from here, lift the back leg just a little. I don't want you to go up into a back bend. I want you to just lift the leg. Once you have your balance there, then you lift your arm. Reach that arm forward. Reach the heel backward. Nice flat back. Long spine. Head is not dropping. Your head is in line with your arm. Find your breath. See if you can make your breath slow and easy, steady. And then bring your hand down and bring your knee down. Rock your hips side to side. Come back center. And now take the other leg back, whichever one you didn't do. Toes tuck under. Opposite arm comes forward on the fingertips of your hand. Feel yourself find balance. See if you can breathe into this low back so that you're not letting it sink. Your belly is not dropping. And then lift that back leg just enough to feel like you're straight from your head all the way to your heel. And then lift the arm. Reach forward with the pinky. Reach backward with the heel. Feel that nice flat spine. Breathe. See if you can control the breath. And then bring the hand down. Bring the knee down. Separate your knees. Bring your toes together and sink back toward child's pose. And you might not go all the way. You can let yourself go all the way back if it feels good. If it doesn't, then you stay in this in-between place. Maybe you rock a little bit. Think about tucking your tailbone underneath you, feeling a little bit of rounding in that lower back. Then make your way up. And we're going to come all the way up to stand. So one way that you can get up is to walk your hands back towards your knees. Come up on your fingertips. Lift your knees, lift your seat, and come all the way up to stand. If you have a blanket, move it off your mat. Find your breath. We're standing in Tadasana, mountain pose. So my feet are about hip width apart. If you think about your hips being where you can feel this bony part, not the outside of your pelvis. Press down into your big toe mound, your pinky toe mound, and then find the center of your heel. Close your eyes for just a moment. Tune into your body. Notice what you feel after doing that little bit of introductory work. Now bring your hands to your heart and take one foot, come up off the heel so you're on your toe, and then turn your toes outward. You can prop the heel on the opposite ankle. So this would be tree pose if we were actually going to do tree pose. But we're just going to actually move in and out. So I'm on my toe. My big toe is my base here. Just opening and closing the knee. It requires a little bit of stability from the standing leg. And we're working on this outer hip. This is external rotation of the hip. Hands can stay here, they can come down, they can be on your waist. The goal here is we're just warming up this part of the hip joint, this particular movement that the hip joint can make. A few more. Notice your breath. If you pay attention to your breath, as long as you can keep it smooth and steady, you're in good shape. But when it starts getting ragged, then you need to pay attention and ask yourself, am I moving too far into this pose? Do I need to back off just a little? And then bring your foot down. And we'll go to the other side. So lift the heel, turn the toes outward. If you want to prop for a moment, you can. And then we add the movement. As you come out and open, I want you to feel this outer hip right here. So our goal is that the pelvis itself is not moving. The pelvis is remaining forward. And the hip, the leg bone in the socket is turning. It's rolling open in this external direction. And you should feel right about here on your body the work happening. Maybe it starts to get a little bit tired. You might even feel like you can get a cramp there. And if you do, that's fine. You just kind of stop and wiggle a little bit, wiggle that cramp out, and then come right back to the movement. Let's do 3 more. Good. Put your foot down. Now, grab your chair, and you're going to take the back of your chair to your wall, so that if I'm standing on my mat in front of the chair, the seat is facing me. Then we're going to move to one side of the chair, and whatever side is closest to the wall, that side, you're going to pick your foot up and put it in the chair. I'm going to move this out just a little bit so it's not scraping the wall. So the leg closest to the wall is on the chair. Now, notice your standing leg. Did you move forward? Because this is sort of a lunge position. So notice if your heel is still in line with your hip. And if I'm here, mine's not. So I'm going to back off just a little bit here, step my foot slightly forward so that now this outside leg is in Tadasana. It's mountain pose. And this bent knee leg is at 90-90. Now you're going to put both hands on the wall. We're coming into a twist, but we're not going deeply yet. So find your hands. Now feel that standing leg push into your feet and lift yourself up just maybe a ½ an inch taller. Find your inhale, and then as you exhale, you're going to turn towards the wall. So I automatically push down into this foot and pull this thigh backward just a little bit. Turn your head and look at the wall. Soften your shoulders so they're not up here, they're just soft. We're not reaching up, we're just letting the spine lift tall. Find your breath. And then come out. Hold onto the wall if you need to. Bring your foot down to the floor. Then you're going to walk around to the other side of your chair and swap legs. So now my back will be to you. You can see what it looks like from a different perspective. So the foot closest to the wall comes to the chair. Make sure that your heel and your hip are in line. Push down a little bit with the standing leg in order to get taller. Push down a little bit with the foot in the chair to feel your pelvis get stable. And then turn, put your hands on the wall. Push down once more and get nice and tall. See if you can let this sitting bone drop towards the floor. And then turn a little deeper into the twist. Find your breath. Feel the movement. Can you sense that there's a twist happening up your back, up your spine? There's not a lot of twist that happens in the lumbar. Most of the twist happens in this thoracic spine. Just see if you can feel it. And then soften back towards the chair. Take your foot down. And we're going to repeat this. So come back to the first side. Foot closest to the wall. Hands on the wall. Feel this nice long line from your heel to the top of your head. Push and turn. Drop your shoulders. Let them be soft. Your head can look at the wall. If you want a little more turn in your neck, you can look towards that back hand. Find your breath. And then come out. Bring your foot down. Walk around to the other side. Foot closest to the wall in the chair. Nice tall standing leg. Hands to the wall. Push. Get tall. Drop this hip, sitting bone on the bent knee. Turn a little farther. If you want to turn your head a little bit more, you can, or you can stay looking at the wall. Shoulders soft. And release. Soften, take your foot down, and move your chair out of the way. Take a moment to stand and feel your body. All right, I want you to turn towards the wall. Hands about shoulder height, about to where your shoulders are. And then we're walking backward just a little bit, and then you push your hips back so that when you get into this wall down dog, you get into this position. Your hips are pretty much over your heels. If this is uncomfortable on your shoulders, you can not be quite so extended, not be reaching quite so far. This is actually flexion, not extension in your shoulders. So find your breath, feel the length. Now I want you to think about reaching top of your head towards the wall and your sacrum and your tailbone away from the wall. Nice long stretch. Feel the big toe mound, the pinky toe mound, the center of your heel. Feel this nice long stretch. And then walk yourself forward. Take a breath. Let your arms rest. And now we're going to come to triangle with a hand on the wall. So you're going to put one foot facing the wall, step the other foot back, and you want a reasonable distance between your legs. Now, this is triangle. So if in your mind or in your practice, your triangle has looked like this, that's not where we're going. And I don't want you to go there. All right, so nice solid feet. And put a hand on the wall, the front hand. Now, you can make a fist or you can use your hand. But as we move into this triangle position, maybe your elbow comes to the wall, maybe it doesn't. Maybe your forearm rests on the wall. Maybe you're just here with the weight resting on your fist. But I want the triangle to be relatively high. Now find your feet, back foot, front foot, and I want you to think about rolling your thighs open. Let's just put the back hand on our waist. Roll your thighs open, push into both feet, turn your chest forward, reach through the top of your head, and then take this arm and reach up towards the ceiling. You can turn the palm out, you can turn it sideways. Push that forearm or elbow or fist into the wall. You're looking for length up the top side of your back. And then come up. And you'll turn around, do the other side. So again, you will see my back. Have my hand on the wall, the back foot, toes point forward, front foot, toes point towards the wall. And then you're leaning, not rounding your spine, you're leaning from your hip until you find where you need to be. Push both feet into the floor, especially that back foot. Reach from there all the way out through the top of your head. Think about rolling those upper thighs open, and you might be feeling it in that spot that we warmed up on the back of your hip. If you want to raise your arm, you can. And then hand down and press yourself up. We'll repeat that one more time on each side. So find your spot. Maybe the second time you have a little bit more room. Maybe you can be a little bit wider. Maybe your forearm comes all the way to the wall. Hand to your waist. Think about bending, softening your knees, and then pushing into the floor. Knees can straighten a little bit, but don't lock your knees. Open, push that forearm into the wall, and this arm comes up. Find that muscle that goes in between the bottom of your rib cage and the top of your pelvis on that upper side of your back. Lift yourself up, step out, come back to the other side. And if you're ready for just a little more depth, you can be a little bit further away from the wall. So find where you need to be. Come into the pose. Roll the thighs open. Open the chest. Lift the arm. Push into the feet. Reach through the top of your head. And come up. Take a breath. We're coming back to downward facing dog on the wall. So hands in the place that feels best for you. Walk your feet back a little bit and then push into this down dog position so that your hips are relatively over your heels. Stretch, the tailbone lengthens, the top of the head lengthens. Take a breath and come up and walk forward. Nice tall breath. All right, now we're going to do triangle with your foot to the wall. All right, so this is your back foot now, and you're going to put the entire outer side of your foot against the wall. Turn the front foot out. Find this hand's going to be on the wall. It will come off as we move, but you're going to push into that back foot, hinge sideways from this hip, reach, 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 and then let this arm come, just rest. Okay, we're not putting our weight on it. You've still got support of your back arm. Rest and open. Push that back foot into the wall. Reach the top of your head forward. And if you want to crawl these fingers up into triangle position, you can. And then come down. Push yourself up. And turn to the other side. So the entire outside of your foot, from your heel to your pinky, rests at the wall. And if your wall is uneven, you can always take your mat and just make it a little bit closer so that there's a space for your foot to actually rest on something that's comfortable. Find your length, back hand on the wall. Front hand reaches, reach, reach, reach. Let that arm rest down. Push into the back foot. Lengthen through the top of the head. Feel this upper back. Arm comes up if you want it to. It could stay right here at the wall. Think about rolling your thighs open. And then push yourself up and step together and take a breath. Find your breath. Feel it settle. Notice how you're feeling in this area of your back. Now we're going to come to Warrior 2 with our foot to the wall. So again, pinky toe all the way to the heel at the wall. Other foot turns out. And this time the knee bends. So the knee comes over the heel. Find your warrior position. You can't quite go all the way back with this arm, but right now it's more important that you feel the ability to push this back leg into the wall. Push the front foot down. Maybe turn your palm up. And if we were going to do reverse warrior, we would lean towards the wall. Maybe the fingertips touch, maybe they don't. There's a wall there somewhere. Ah, there it is. And then come up. Turn your toes, step up, turn around. Find the same position with the other side. So foot to the wall, front knee bends. Reach that front arm forward, turn the palm up just to feel that external rotation in the shoulder. Find your breath. And as we reverse, this back hand comes down a little bit, giving yourself room to maybe you find the wall, maybe not. One side might be different from the other. Mine is. And then come up and step your feet together. Find your breath. Nice, easy breath. Let your exhale be a little bit longer than your inhale. Bring your heart rate down, bring your breath rate down. All right, we're going to come to side angle, and we'll start with our position moving toward the wall. So the front knee is bent. The front knee is the one closest to the wall, toes pointing to the wall. And we're going to lean into the wall. So normally when we do this pose, we're down here somewhere, right? We're not down here today. We're right here, level with your shoulder. Your back arm can reach up and over. If your back arm doesn't like reaching up and over, then it can come down and up. Put your fingertips on the wall. Find your back foot. Find the pinky toe. Just know that it's there on the mat. Push into the big toe mound, push into the heel. Feel yourself get a little bit longer. If this hand on the wall wants to come down to support or just to be there, open and look underneath your arm. Really lengthen. See how long you can get from the heel of your back foot to the fingertips of that arm, that hand on the wall. And then come up. Use the wall to help. Step together. Take a breath. And we'll turn and do the same thing on the other side. So front foot is pointing toward the wall. Back foot is away. And now here again, you can also play with how far away from the wall do you want to be in this position. The farther you are from the wall, the more extension, the more length you can find, but you want to find the place that's not too much. So play with it. My knee is bending. I can bring this forearm to the wall, and if I'm too far away, maybe I stay at the fist. Bring the other arm up and over, and then the weight comes to the legs. The support is the back leg, the length up through the arm. This arm can rest. Okay, so find your back heel, back big toe mound. Pinky toe is there on the floor. Reach through the fingertips, nice and long. Lengthen the tailbone down. Turn, look underneath your arm. And then lift yourself up and step together. Come back to Tadasana, take a breath. Find your breath. We're going to do side angle one more time, but this time we'll do it with our foot to the wall. The side of your foot. Find your length. Front toe is now away from the wall. Bend the knee. Keep this back hand on the wall for now. And then as we lean into this side angle, your back hand is going to come off the wall. But I want you to lean as far as you can, thinking about this hip crease pulling into your body. Length, length, length. And then you can put your arm down. The other arm comes up in whatever way you like to get it there. Push into that back foot. Reach through the fingertips. Roll this knee open, this front knee. And lift yourself up. Step together, take a breath. And turn, we'll do the other side, the whole foot against the wall. Find your position. Arm comes out, this is your warrior two where we start, and then you start to reach. Draw this hip crease into your body, length as far as you can, and when you can't go anymore, that's when your arm comes down, and your other arm goes up and over or down and up. Find your foot, push into the wall. Can you feel the length happening? It's almost a lift that comes as you press into the floor and the wall. Length all the way out through the fingertips. And then lift yourself up. Step together. Come back and face the wall, and let's come to downward dog on the wall one more time. You can be as wide in your feet as you want here. Try and get your hips over your heels. Reach your tailbone towards the floor. Lengthen the top of your head towards the wall. Breathe nice and steady. Push into the floor with your feet. Push into the wall with your hands. And then walk yourself forward. Stand in Tadasana. Take a breath. All right, this is one of my all-time favorite poses. It's called Half Moon. Now, if you don't have a super great amount of space at your wall, then you might have to finagle a little bit. We're going to start with the leg that's closest to the wall will be our front foot, and then step the other one back and come to a warrior two. I'm facing you, so if I were to turn my torso, I'm not turning my pelvis, I'm turning my torso from here up, out towards the mat in front of me. Open my arms. Now, think about side angle, right? I'm just going to take this back hand and put it on my waist. And then I'm going to put this hand in the chair. Hopefully your chair doesn't slide. It might need to be on a rug if it does. Step up just a little bit, right? So I'm on the toes of my back foot. Then shift your weight into this front leg. Lift your back heel until you feel the wall behind you. Turn your chest until you can feel both shoulder blades on the wall. And then if you want to lift your arm, you can, or you can keep it in this position on your waist. That standing leg is not locked, but spread as though you could reach from the solar plexus out through both arms, out through both legs, out through the top of your head. To come down, hand to your waist, standing leg bends, back leg comes to the floor, and you lift yourself up. Oh, good job. And if you didn't get there, that's okay. I will show you on the second side what it looks like for it to be modified. So here I am, my triangle position, foot towards the chair. I can feel both sides of my pelvis on the back. I can feel both shoulder blades on the back. Bend my knee. There's my warrior two position. Slide into this side angle. Step up just a little bit. And then lift. And here might be where you stop. You might have your foot just up off the floor, or maybe you stop here. This is actually a lot of fun. I would at least try it. Head to the wall, shoulder blades to the wall, foot to the wall, top arm up, touching the wall. And then once you're here, if you want to go a little deeper, you can lift that leg. You can sink a little bit farther into your hand. And to come out, standing knee bends, hand to the waist, back leg comes down to the floor, and you lift yourself up. Very good. Take a breath. Be proud of yourself for even trying, no matter how far you got. Nice, easy breath. All right, one last thing to the wall. We're going to take our arms just a little bit lower. When you did the down dog, if your arms were a little bit higher, you might want them to be lower. You're going to come back out until you find that down dog position. Hands again can slide down a little further if you want them to. Try to have your hips over your heels. And then you're going to lift. I have to bring my feet a little bit closer together here. And you're going to lift one leg back behind you. So this is moving towards a warrior three. But I don't want you to open your pelvis because that's half moon. We just did that. This is closed. This hip point stays toward the floor. Reach through your heel. And it doesn't matter if you're up here or down here. Length, reach, and bring your foot down. Take a breath. And exhale and let the other leg come up. If you think about letting your toes turn in towards your body, it will keep that hip pointing downward. Reach. Nice long spine. Tailbone down. And step and come up. Nice deep breath. Feel your body. And then make your way to the floor. If you want a blanket under your head, you're welcome to add it. And let's bring knees into the chest. And maybe we rock side by side. Feel that little bit of massage on the spine. As long as it feels good. And then roll your knees all the way over. Stack your knees. Now, the tendency here is to pull your heels up towards your buttocks. I want you to let your feet drift out. So there's more of a right angle in your legs. This hand comes to your waist, fingers and thumb towards your belly button. And then turn your head, look towards the ceiling. And let that back shoulder drift towards the floor. It's probably not going to get there all the way. And if you're rolling a little bit, maybe there's some separation in your thighs. You could put the blanket or a block in between if you want that support. But just feel this very gentle twist in your spine as your body relaxes and softens. Easy breaths. Think about your exhale, letting that shoulder come a little bit further back. And if this is easy for you and your elbow is already on the floor, then you can unbend your elbow and just let your hand rest where it lands. And then roll yourself back center. Square yourself up on the mat. Bring your knees into your chest. Rock side to side one more time. And let yourself come all the way over. Soft 90-degree bend in your legs. Hand to your waist, thumb and fingers forward. Shift your head so that you're looking toward the ceiling. Close your eyes though. It feels good to rest here. And let your breath, especially your exhale, be the thing that lets you move maybe a little farther into this twist. And if you make it to the floor with your elbow without any forcing, you can let your hand slide. Then you just unbend the elbow. And then roll yourself back center. Now, for Shavasana, I strongly recommend that you have some support under your knees. You have a chair, so a lovely Shavasana when you've been dealing with back issues is to put your legs up on the chair. So you scoot fairly close till you've got something of a right angle. Pull your blanket back towards your head. If you have glasses on, take them off. Your eyes are still trying to work when they're on your face. And let yourself rest. Feel the weight of your body and let it sink into the floor. Let the weight of your legs sink into the chair. Feel the heaviness of your arms. Swallow. Soften your jaw. Soften your eyes. Feel the stillness. Feel the release from the work that you've done. And you're welcome to remain in this Shavasana for as long as your body needs this place of rest. If you're ready to come out, bring your knees a little closer to your chest. Roll to your side. Take a breath or two here. And then use your hand to press yourself up. Find any comfortable seated position. Soften your shoulders, soften your jaw. Bring your hands to your heart. And find gratitude for the muscles, the bones, the joints of your back that keep you upright and let you move and let you bend. Speak strength to them. Strength. Speak length to them. Bless this part of your body. Know that sore is safe. So if you have a little bit of soreness, it's because you haven't been using these muscles in this way. Know that you're safe. It's just muscle soreness. Take an easy inhale and bow forward with a grateful heart. Namaste.